Well, in my previous episode, I have taken you to the Harry Potter shop, which was down there. Now I'm leaving King's Cross station, and of course I'm going to the underground to finally get to the bank. A wonderful day out despite it's very cold, but look at behind me, the very iconic St. Cross St. Pancras building, and it's just really amazing. They have just restored that after such a long time. But right now, even though if it's a little bit kind of a not so manic London, it's always been a beautiful place to explore. Now I'm about to head to, where am I heading again? The underground. But you can see, let me show you some beautiful landmarks here. There, that's how iconic and beautiful London is. A beautiful, beautiful city to explore. That's why it's my favorite city to explore any day, any time of the year. Now I'm going down to the underground to get to the Victoria line. Okay, catch you in a bit. And you know what? One of the best modes of transport here in London is the underground, because you avoid traffic, or you can take the bus if you want to see more of the beauty of London, because I think the double-decker buses will show you the highlights of some of the major things overground. But I'll show you that once I get to the buses one of these. So right now, I'm going to Victoria Line here in very quiet London. It's deserted on my first travel here in London after such a long, long time. See ya! I'm going down into the tube trains and then take the Victoria line up. You have this ticket, or you can also use Oyster if you want to travel across London. And normally this is very busy, but look, it's so deserted right now. And I'm quite crazy because I take on and off my mask in here just to talk to all of you so that you get to hear whatever I get to explain. So here, to guide you, you get to check where you're going. And then I'm going to Victoria line because I'm going to Victoria. So there you go. And here I am on this little mini tunnel as a walkway. So see you in a bit as I continue my footings and my walk. You know what? London is such a beautiful place to walk. Wherever you go, it's so exciting, and you get to see the different kinds of highlights, the major things to see and do here in this lovely city. And this is a very familiar walkway for me because I think I've walked this particular path 1,000 times every time I'm in London. Ooh, look at those sexy bodies. Summer is on its way. Isn't that incredible and amazing? I've got a little bit of a long walk because I think I can see the sign ahead of me is a Victoria line. See ya when I get to descend to it. Such a long trek. Such a long walk, but it's worth it. And you get to walk through these tunnels. Normally, as I said earlier, if this was not the time of the pandemic, it's so hard to enjoy walking here because you are like just in a sea of faces and you're just one of those elements rushing and running about. But today I'm enjoying my time right here in the undergrounds of London. Oh, I managed to get into the tube. Here I am. So this is how a tube looks like. You can either stand or you can sit down. I was rushing and I almost didn't make it, but I made it actually. So I almost fell. So everyone has to wear a mask when you're indoors. And this is the London Tube here in London. And it will take me about 4 stops before I get to my next destination. I'll see you then once I get to my destination. On rush hour here, when you travel in London, this will be packed with people. But despite that, people can do all of their hobbies. Some people are doing their makeup, some read their books, they can text. And of course, this aisle will be covered with people. But right now, it's just not so bad because it's just still the time of the pandemic. But when everything is going to be open, this will be manic and mad. Now I'm about to get to 2 more stops before I get to Victoria. Very soon. Just stepped out of the tube and now heading to Victoria to get to see the bank for my appointment. And I shall take you there. I can't believe that we have a Philippine National Bank here in London. It's amazing, right? I can still do home banking even if I'm in this fabulous city. I don't know where I'm going. Oh. I'm going up to this escalator. And then I go out and then I'm heading to the Philippine National Bank, which is actually my main purpose of coming to London and doing my first ever trip to London since the lockdown. So here I am in the center of Victoria in London. But you know what? Behind me is a very famous the Victoria Place Theatre. Why? Our very own Rachel Ango performed there as a lead actress in the musical Hamilton, which is currently showing now here in London. And there's so many skyscrapers here. I don't know the names of each of the buildings, but I'm still looking for the street which I need to go, because I think the bank which I'm going to visit is at the end of this line. But just giving you a quick glimpse of where I am here in crazy London, amazing London. Of course, the famous London taxi, the double-decker buses, there you go. And what else? Just this clock. And I need to read about the literature about this place. But later on, I'll try to do one of the trips of this double-decker buses so that I can take you to some views of wonderful London. And right there, the very famous London Victoria train station. Now, I don't know which route I'm going for PNB. I've been here before, but I'm lost. So now, I'm going to do that one more time. See you when I finally get to the London Philippine National Bank. On a crazy day, at least the rain has stopped! Well, as you can see behind me is of course the very famous show Wicked, happening in this particular theatre here in Victoria. And it's really amazing because I've seen this production, and if you are a lover of that kind of a musical, then you can start, because they are now reopening all the theatres here in London. So it's great to be back here in London, although I'm facing the bins here. I want to cover that because I can't wait to watch another show and give a review of that, my theatre review of my beautiful life here in United Kingdom. I'm lost again. I'm the worst person to follow maps. And I don't know why I can't really follow directions, but I think I'm heading to the right direction now. It's just 2 minutes walk to the Philippine National Bank here in London. Oh my word. What a mad day. I've been in that circle for several times and I don't know where I was going. And now finally I saw the name of the street, London Vauxhall Bridge Street, and I'm here. I think I can see the sign of Philippine National Bank now. Here I am. Wala ko malabuot mo kakadula-dula ako di sa London. You know what, Jermaine, why ka be? No, I'm having a solo flight. If I have my friends with me, it's okay to be lost. But now, I'll be losing my battery, I'll be losing everything. But never mind. In front of me is the sign, which is what I'm looking for to have my appointment. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen it. I'm here in the Philippine National Bank in London, which is actually my main purpose of going to London today. Ha! Dugin hapo man ko nga kuring ba? Ha! Ha! Dugin hapo ako nga kuring. Here we go. Now let me show you that I really found it. Philippine National Bank here in London. You see that sign? I'm about to come in. See you in a bit. Bye. So here I am. I had completed my appointment here at the Philippine National Bank here in London, in Victoria. And it's amazing. They're so helpful with the things that I needed. Opening an account in my home country and then receiving it. And it's just good. Now I'm heading to my next destination, which is of course showing you the wonderful Buckingham Palace. If you have not seen that, so give me a tour. I will not be showing you inside, but to show you the facade and the beautiful gardens of St. James's Park. And then we'll take you to the White Room. And from there, perhaps let's see what happens before I get to see my friends. As I promised earlier, we're going to Jollibee for our Filipino friends. Okay? Here with Just a Cat, I shall see you in my next adventure here in wonderful London. Well, I have just left the Green Park and finally the sun is smiling because now I'm going to take you to what I promised to you, the wonderful view that you can see at the very end of this lane. Well, the very famous Buckingham Palace, the official residence of the Queen here in London. Right now, the fountains are not working here. And then this beautiful green park, and my friends, we had such a lovely time sitting down on these lovely benches here, which you need to pay. I don't know how much it is to pay now, but it's a lovely place. You won't believe that beside me is of course the very famous The Ritz Hotel out there. Green Park is such a rich avenue, and of course the very end where these lovely lush green trees are behind me. Hidden out there is the incredible Buckingham Palace, the most popular palace in the entire world. So, now let me just have a quick moment of reflection. I get to sit down in one of these benches just to recall the times that I was with my friends here. This is it. You get to sit down in here. I don't know how much you're gonna pay, but once you sit down, you're going to pay something. Well, I won't sit down. I might just sit down on the grass. Well, this is lovely because you can enjoy and have lovely time with your friends here. And how beautiful! You won't believe that I am in the middle of the city, and this lush greenery here of London just makes it an exciting city to explore and really have a lovely day out with your friends. So now I'm gonna run because I'll take you to the Buckingham Palace. This is a very popular avenue. The tree lining this particular path is just amazing. When you come here in autumn, when everything turns to gold, when the leaves are just golden, it is such a dramatic landscape. And even if winter comes, you'll only see the branches of the trees. This is just an incredible place as you walk and descend into the world's most famous palace ever built. So right now, sometimes you can have a mini stop over here and think that life is really amazing. So stay there because I'm going to have a muni time. Or mahigda-higda na lang ko din. Kaya nga, I can do this now because no one's around. Here, in a few seconds, I'll take you to the wonderful Buckingham Palace. Let's sleep now. Or actually, I should not. What a perfect opportunity to explore these grounds on a very quiet day. Normally, when there are events here like the changing of the gods, this is actually covered with multitudes of people. About 500,000 could gather here in very, very special events. But right now, just the cat is here, and I can even dance in here. And you know what? The very famous section of the palace, the balcony, that's where you get to see the very famous kisses of the royalty who just got married. One of those that I remember was who did it there was, of course, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William and Kate. So now, as I go up here, we are going to have a look at the whole stretch where you get to see why this is such an iconic landmark here in London. Now, think of this as a wonderful place. I'm just so lucky that finally the sun is out. I left in a very rainy part of Northamptonshire, and getting here in London without the rain is incredible. And right now, I can just look at the Buckingham Palace in full admiration because there's nobody in here. It's amazing that when you get to see the flag, the building, it's one of the oldest buildings in the world, and one that is really the crowning glory of the royalty, the royal family here in England. And in the end of summer, they open the back part of it and you can see the gardens, but I don't know whether they're gonna open this year. But I'm so excited when they reopen, so perhaps I can showcase that here in my Just the Cat Journeys vlogs. What a beautiful day! Now, as I leave the Buckingham Palace grounds, I'm heading into one of my favorite gardens here, just right next to the palace. Of course, the St. James's Park, which is very famous. But you know what? My railing, what do? Of course, masuot gid sinunoy. Ouch! Napugo pag-ulog ko. Kasabad. Amo ginaba sa adventurous ka. Wala ka na kuya. So here I go. So I hope the sun comes out to get to see the beauty of this place here. And you know what? It's just incredible that you get to enjoy the place without the madness of people around me today. Now every section here has got golden gates, tall sections, but let's go to the little mini balcony just to give you a view of the next part of this adventure, which is one of my most visited gardens here in London, the St. James's Park. You know why? When there's a water feature, I can just say, isn't that magnificent? If you stand here, if you are here watching the events happening on the grounds, like the changing of the guards, this is such a pleasant place to stay, right here in amazing London. Now, I'll take you to the beautiful St. James's Park, which is one of my favorite gardens here in London. Mwah.